I like your shirt.
Yeah, I got this shirt about 4 years ago, but I couldn't wear it because I was too fat.
Must have been those platinum pills.
All of a sudden, I'm
really
like,
cool shirt.
hey, maybe I can fit into the. Well, actually, Liz pulled it out. I forgot about it. It's been sitting in the closet.
That's really cool. What if we could use that somewhere, you know? Like if there's a copyright or something on it, because that's pretty cool. Maybe one with like a bunch of them on it, you know, a bunch of the founding dudes.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good evening. Good morning if you're on the other side of the world. My name is Joe Grumbine, and I'm here to share a cup of Joe with y'all. So hopefully soon I'll have a cup of Joe in my hand, and I'll be able to have some and then share it with you. This is a podcast, and sometimes it's a real good thing that it's a podcast. It's funny, I have people all the time, new listeners calling in and wondering, you know, oh, is this a broadcast or is it just a podcast? And I think to myself, you know, a broadcast is great. If I had a broadcast, I would be able to reach, you know, if it was a good FM station or even a good AM station. I don't know which one reaches farther, but I could probably reach, you know, 1,000 miles, maybe a little further, and I would be bound by the rules, the whatever the hell the governing body of the airwaves is. I couldn't say certain words, and I would have to remember to check in and do the caller ID every so often, and I'd have to have my levels monitored and all this crap. Well, with the podcast, okay, you got to put up with sitting in my office and a lousy phone connection and a lousy Facebook feed and a YouTube feed, but at the end of the day, we can reach anywhere in the world. We can say anything we want. We can share this station. We can do all kinds of things. Frankly, I think we have more power the way that we're doing it than if I was bound by the rules of broadcasting. So I don't have any issue with this at all. In fact, I feel freer with this medium than I would if I was sitting behind the mic of an FM or AM station. As you may or may not know, this is a show that is about liberty. It is about freedom. It's about ending prohibition. It's about choice. It's about making change. It's about motivating people, inspiring people, educating people, supporting people. It's about all those things and more. It's about the Human Solution International. Very much it's about that. Yeah, we welcome everybody to come and help. But frankly, this show is by, for, and of the Human Solution International. Sometimes that gets in our way. Sometimes it propels us farther and faster than we ever thought possible. Doesn't really matter to me. It's an important thing that we're doing. It's an important group that we have. And it's something that I don't see anywhere else on the planet, not even close. So generally I take a few minutes and I talk about something that I noticed during the week or something that, hey, Sarah, Chris, and I believe that's Pete and Helen.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
I don't see the Facebook feed when I'm doing this show, so I apologize to all of y'all that I'm not talking to in person. My wife just hit me up and said, you know, I've seen some podcasts and the people talk to their audience. And I said, you know, I've seen those things and they're annoying if they're not talking to you. So I try not to do too much of that because, frankly, this is a show that I interact with you live, and that's the important part. So if you want to call in and have a conversation, pick up your phone and dial 646-929-2495. And I would love to talk to you about anything that has to do with liberty, freedom, choice, ending prohibition, supporting those less fortunate than us. It's what we do. So we've been doing some good work in the Midwest right now, the central part of the country. Hopefully we got some big news coming, I believe, tomorrow from Michael Thompson's camp. But I want to share some observations. I say it all the time, and I'll continue to say it until it changes. As much as I am all about the solution, and I generally don't like to talk about the problem, every once in a while it's important to point things out, call things for what they are. And I notice that there's a lot of kinds of people in the world. And I don't say that I'm going to get to all of them, but there are some general types of people that I've run into. And one of the types of people that, in my opinion, is one of the most common are those that find flaws in everything. And they're always looking for something to bitch about, something to not be okay. And generally, those people don't come and offer a solution, but they go around saying, what's wrong with everything? That's a kind of person. There are some kind of people that don't want to get involved. They want to be helpful. They want to listen in. They want to be part of a show or situation, whatever it is. Could be a meeting, could be a group, could be an activity, could be a show, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all a big show. And they show up and they lurk in the background. And sometimes they're some of the most helpful people in the world because they're not engaging and causing problems. And there's people that have ideas. Oh, and they tell you about their ideas all day long. You know what we should do. You know what you should do. You know what needs to happen. But they don't do it. They just tell you about it. And sometimes there are solutions. Sometimes there's something you heard from somebody else. Sometimes it's just good conversation. I don't know. But they're not the ones taking the action. They're the ones talking about it. Then there's, in my opinion, some of the problems. People that instigate. People that look for real conflicts to happen. They're always in a conflict. There's always something majorly wrong with something or somebody. And then there's the people that usually have a lot of people around them. They're the people that solve all the problems. They're the people that fix everything. They're the people that you call when something's not right. My pump broke. Who am I going to call? Call that guy. He knows what to do because he knows how to fix stuff. I don't know what to say. Well, talk to that guy. He's good at talking. I don't know what's the truth about this thing. I'll talk to that guy. He knows a lot of truths. Whatever it is, there are those people out there that are always part of that solution. And I want you all to know that the human solution is not named by accident. It's not a fluke. It's not a joke. It's not a play on words. It's just the way it is. And I believe very strongly that those people that have gravitated towards our leadership and have gravitated towards our main team are those kind of people. The people that see a problem, they say, you know what? Let's get in there. I got an idea, and I'm willing to help. Think about where you fit into this puzzle, this piece, this issue. We have so many issues we're dealing with right now. Human rights issues, civil rights issues, freedom of choice issues. We as a society generally have accepted the fact that a woman, if she gets pregnant and to a certain point of this pregnancy, she decides that she doesn't want to, can't handle, there's a risk to her health, whatever it is, that we as a society have ruled that she has a right to terminate that pregnancy, a right to choose what she does with her own body. It's been spelled out that way very clearly, and there's lots of opposition to it, and I'm not interjecting my opinion whatsoever. I'm just saying what society has deemed to be okay. Now, that's a pretty major deal. Whatever you think is the truth, the facts about it, I'm not here to argue that. I frankly don't know the answers to it. But I know this. That's a much more important decision to make than if I grow a plant in my backyard. A plant that couldn't possibly hurt anybody else. I'm just saying that's the choice that we don't have. as human beings, men, women, children, elderly. A man who's 95 years old, a veteran of 3 wars, disabled in many ways, has money, doesn't have money, doesn't matter. The federal government says you don't get to grow a plant, even if you want to. You don't have that choice. I think there's something fundamentally wrong with that. This guy here, he thought so too. And he had words to say about prohibition. He wasn't in support of it in any way, shape, or form. I think we should think about that. What we're about isn't about pot. It's not about medicine. It's about our right to choose. It's about our fundamental, inalienable rights bestowed upon us by our Creator, as laid out by our founding fathers. And prior to that, just saying, maybe it's something that's important enough to think about, say something about, maybe do something about. That's what we're here for. Now, I want to tell you a little story about one of these problem children and about the difference between that and the solution. So about 4 or 5 years ago, I was in a shithole, middle of the country, a place in Kansas. Now, I'm not saying Kansas is entirely a shithole, but the place I was at was. And I was at a courthouse where a kid was being tried for the murder of a man because he was going to sell a guy that was involved in this whole thing some pot. It's a horrible case. Injustice all around. It was a jury nullification case because they had no laws that protected anybody in any way. We got called by the family of this defendant, got shipped out there, got supported, had a good team of people. We organized one of the better court supports we've had in a long time. We organized a jury nullification message. We organized everything from the beginning to the end, how we were going to get there, what we were going to do, who was going to supply rides, food, where people were going to stay. I mean, we nailed this thing down. One of the things that we did when we got to court is we talked about the rules of how are we going to behave in this courtroom. How are we? And we all discussed it. We talked about it. We made a decision as a group. And the mother of the defendant and the father of the defendant were very much in the decision making of this. And I explained how we've done things in the past and the way that we've done things successfully and effectively by showing up dressed respectfully, appropriately, how we behave, how we don't talk, how we don't have cell phones on, how we don't do anything disruptive, any way to cause a problem, because that defendant has his life at stake. He was facing a life in prison for this, and he got shot in the ordeal. He didn't have anything to do with shooting anybody or any issue like that whatsoever. Anyways, we all agreed that we were going to dress accordingly. The men were going to wear long pants and a button-up shirt if they had one, or at least a nice shirt. They were going to, shave if they could, brush their hair, brush their teeth, put a little deodorant on, and shut the fuck up when you go into court. Be respectful. Don't cause any problems. We did plenty of rallying outside the courthouse, and we yelled and screamed and marched and chanted and did all kinds of ballyhooing, but not inside that courtroom. Well, lo and behold, one of the first days of court, we show up and everybody gathers around. We have a nice meeting. And one of the guys, a grown man who was there during this whole thing and his wife was present, he shows up in shorts. And we looked at him, and one of the guys took me aside. I wasn't even paying attention to him at the time, but somebody says, hey, this guy's wearing shorts. I'm like, oh, shit, really? Our own people. So I took the mother and the father aside, and we talked about it. And we said, hey, look, we agreed that this was a deal. And I said, well, maybe the guy doesn't have any long pants. So we took him aside and said, hey, man, we agreed that this is what we were going to do. And do you need a pair of pants? We'll buy you a pair of pants. We literally said that. No, man, can't do it. It's a cultural thing. I'm like, well, I'm sorry. We agreed. We can't do anything to cause this guy harm. We're not come back tomorrow maybe, you know, or we'll buy you some pants. No. Lo and behold, and unbeknownst to me at the time, the wife went off. And she took it as a racist move. Oh, yeah. He was a black man. Didn't have anything to do with it, but that was what it boiled down to. Now I'm racist. We're racist. It's all just a racist thing. Are you fucking kidding me? There was a kid with a young child facing life in prison over a pot case, and you can't put long pants on because we agreed to, then you shouldn't be here. We went, we did this. We had the best behaved court support that we've had in a long time. Nobody got thrown out of court. Everything went along great. And at the end of the day, we got a victory. Jury nullification. He was acquitted on all the major counts. They got him on some little thing. He did a couple of months, got out. He's a free man today. And that's almost 5 years ago. Maybe it was more than 5 years. I don't even remember, but it was a while ago. Well, we're in Kansas again. Have another case, or I think we're in Kansas, or maybe we're in Missouri, but anyways, we're in the neighborhood. We got people coming from all around. The Human Solution is on fire. We got some good activists getting together for the first time in a long time. People that never met each other. Different chapters, 2 or 3 different chapters of the organization getting together to help out a woman whose husband died in jail because of a pot case. People that came together, representing, being there for each other, doing the right thing. Some people had sacrificed quite a bit to get there. Big deal. I was proud. You're never going to believe what happened.
Wow.
And I didn't know about it until just, I think, today.
Wow.
This very person that stomped off 5 years ago, as we're showing up for this person who most of us have never met, to be there and support a benevolent act, a good and kind act, the thing that we're all about. And one of our teammates got accosted and said, well, that guy's a damn racist. Are you fucking kidding me? Really? Is that? And we wonder why we're not getting further in this movement. It's because of that kind of behavior. Fortunately, I am so proud of my team. I have the best team out there right now, and the good folks stood together and nipped that sucker right in the bud and gave it no merit and kept going and did the good work that we do. And for that, I got to say, you guys are amazing, and you did everything right. And that's the key. We have a no drama policy with this organization. If that's for a reason, it's for a reason. So many people out there, I don't know. I don't claim to understand everything or everybody. I don't know what causes. I don't know what hurts. I don't know all this stuff. But I know this. I know Craig Cecil's on the line. He's got some major shit we got to talk about and deal with. And so I'm going to get to him. So we'll get back to my deal.
You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. This call is from an inmate at a federal prison. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to the...
Craig Cecil, how are you doing today?
Hello, Joe. Help. I'm having trouble here.
I sent you a...
It's really gotten crazy the last few days.
Yeah, I understand. I sent you a Cora Links email a couple of days ago, but I didn't hear back from you. And I wanted to get it straight from you before I went and launched an action. So tell me what's going on.
Well, what happened is the last 2 days we've been on lockdown. But what happened is, as you know, I've been having trouble with their rule that diabetics can't use the law library.
Yeah, I
and
remember
I
that.
kind of won that where the warden was backing me up, and Well, he really yelled at an officer that was blocking me. Well, Sunday when I went to go to the law library, that officer came running down the hall with his fist clenched and ended up hitting me.
Oh my God! And
he was punching me in the corridor.
wow!
But I went to the lieutenant's office and complained, and they said, too bad, we just don't accept those kind of complaints.
Whoa!
Well, Sherry helped and had her and some other people call in and really making some trouble. I guess they got a hold of some media people as well. And that night, the warden and the captain came from their house, and we ended up watching the videos of the corridor. Sure enough, there he is hitting me.
Oh my God.
Wow!
So they couldn't deny the complaint. But now the problem that I have is they put us on lockdown. I told you, whenever somebody does somebody wrong in a cell block, they lock them down for a few days. What they did this time is the guy that keeps getting caught doing drugs, they put him in the chute for a while, and then they let him back out. Well, this guy they let out a couple of days ago, and the same day, sure enough, they came back, and there he is on drugs, so we had to be on lockdown until this afternoon.
Wow! Can't he be
the problem is
segregated?
Pardon?
Can't that guy be segregated away from everybody else?
Yes. They punished the 135 of us, over what one person does that they put in here knowing that he was going to do.
Wow.
But the problem that I really have now is they came in and they took, well, especially with me, a whole lot of my property, took, most of my athletic wear and stuff like that. But as you know, I'm in the middle of a legal fight now, and I have an opportunity perhaps to reduce my sentence from life imprisonment, but they took every piece of paper I have.
Whoa.
All my legal papers, and they said, if you're going to, go after our officer, we don't care that, this will make it so you can't go to court.
Wow.
These all my legal papers.
Whoa,
So
Jesus.
for now, they haven't destroyed them because they're kind of caught in limbo right now. I got some other people involved. But I can see I'm going to have a fight ahead just to get my court filings back. These are old transcripts from, back when I was in court in 2002 and the like, and, certain letters and, all kinds of documents from that era. It's a whole, like a banker's box worth of them. And
Wow.
They're trying to throw them away and all that to, punish me for going after their officer. So that's what I'm asking is, maybe, some listeners and that can, email the prison, email the Bureau of Prisons in Washington, D.C., email the Terre Haute prison, and just tell them that people out there are aware that they're taking my legal, papers that I have a right to have.
Well, we could put together a press release if you want. I didn't want to do anything till I heard it from you, because messages get twisted around, and I just people say a lot of things, and I want to be sure I'm not doing anything that's going to cause harm, and so I always want to hear it straight from you. That's why I sent you a message, and I wanted to clear it up. So. Would you want us to put together a press release and take it to the mainstream media, or you just want emails? You want calls, letters, what?
Yes, just that they're, retaliating against me by cutting off my access to the court and all that because I complained about an officer that attacked me.
Now, what is the reason that they don't allow diabetics to go to the law library? I don't understand that.
Why they don't allow what?
Why they don't allow diabetics to go to the law library?
It seems like this was just the opinion of a handful of officers, and again, that's just it's like poking a stick at an animal in a cage. It's just to punish or torture the inmates. Just that nope, you can't go to the law library. Diabetics can't go. It's just a rule that they just kind of make up and stand by. Like another officer has a rule against them, nobody can carry a book down the corridor.
Oh, so this isn't an official prison policy. It's just a rule that they've set.
Power hungry.
Right. This is a rule that just, one or two or something of the officers will pick
Stanford's
up.
doing.
And because there's no management, there's nobody that can really control them or anything, like a warden or associate wardens or all that. They just don't care. They just allow them to run amok, and that's the kind of thing we get.
So it's a house rule. It's not a policy.
No, it's not a prison rule. It's not a Bureau of Prisons rule generally.
Got it.
It's just a rule of one or two or three officers.
But it's a rule nonetheless. You don't get to go to the law library.
Correct. Only diabetics, and there's a couple of them that can go, but the rest of them cannot go.
Wow. So it's very, very arbitrary in its nature.
Discriminatory.
Well, when do you think you're going to have access to the email?
I'm going to hope possibly when I get off. The lines have been real long for the email because we've been locked down and people haven't had access to it.
Right.
But hopefully tonight or tomorrow morning I'll be able to blast off something to you.
Okay, yeah, because whatever you give me specifically, I mean, I'll take what I got from this conversation, but we'll put together a press release and we'll get it out to the mainstream media, and we'll get some action based off of this. I mean, this isn't the first time. I mean, they denied your medicine before, and I think a couple of years back when we pushed on them, they felt it, and they let go a little bit after we did it.
Yeah, that's really anathema to the Bureau of Prisons. They hate when people on the outside know what's going on, or because otherwise they pretty much get to operate in secrecy.
Well, we're here to cast a bright light on that secrecy and watch all the rats and cockroaches go scurrying, because that's the kind of stuff that there's more and more people starting to pay attention to the injustices that are going on in prisons. And some of it are people that are touting conspiracy things and whatnot, but just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to hurt me. And I've been on both sides of that. So I know that there's more and more validity being given to the nightmare that's in our prison system, and people are looking at it now a little bit more than they used to. It used to be in the past, well, hell, he's in prison, what do you think's going to happen? Now it's like, wait a minute, what the hell? That's not okay.
Even the Jeffrey Epstein, as much as it's hard to like anything about Jeffrey Epstein, I do like the fact that the Bureau of Prisons was reviewed in that, asking why were these officers sleeping? Why were these officers not checking on inmates?
Right. Absolutely. No, that's absolutely the case. And it's there's so many things that get overlooked. They get pushed on purpose. There's 100 different reasons that something that should be, I'm not big on regulations. I don't think the government should be any bigger. In fact, I think they should leave a lot of stuff alone. But inside of a prison where human beings don't have the same rights as everybody else, that kind of shit should be very regulated. There should be a solid record of everything that goes on when somebody has lost their freedom. Basically, you have the same rights of a slave. You don't have the same protection of the Constitution that a person who's not in prison has. And that needs to be looked at. That needs to be accounted for.
Well, the main thing that I kind of look at is the idea of prison is to teach people not to do whatever they did again. And instead, these are turning out to be incubators for really violent people, because they're, like I've written in the last couple of days during the lockdown, is that I've been in prison for nearly 18 years. I've never been attacked by another inmate. But 3 times I've been attacked by officers who punched me.
Wow.
There's something really wrong with that picture. What does that teach to the inmate?
Right, right. Well, not only that, but prisons are not only supposed to be rehabilitative places, but they're supposed to protect society from dangerous people. You know, and I'm not saying there's not dangerous people in prison. I'm just saying there's a lot of people in prison that are not dangerous. And I think that that's the part that needs to be looked at.
Yes, yes. A good part of the Bureau of Prisons, because it is part of the federal government, a large percentage of the officers are former military people that kind of ride out the rest of their years till, federal retirement working for the Bureau of Prisons. So unfortunately, we have a lot of these guys that, have PTSD issues that, are just violent, got thrown out of the military and things like that, but this is where they end up. And it just ends up being a club of them that they all support.
Yeah, when I was locked up, there was a lot of people that had mental health issues, and we don't really have a mental health system anymore the way that at one point sort of we did. I don't know how good it ever was, but there's a lot of people that need medical help for various reasons, whether it's drug addiction, depression, schizophrenia, violence, whatever, PTSD, any number of things. And like you say, rather than help these people, they end up breaking some rules, some law, and getting locked up. And that's frankly a waste of the resources that are there to protect society, for one, and a harm to the people that are being locked up. It doesn't help anybody, and it hurts everybody.
It definitely does. The prison system is really failing the taxpayer because it spends obscene amounts of money. It wastes obscene amounts of money too often. But it really, if you look, still 2/3 of the people that get out of prison, especially out of federal prison, 2/3 of them end up with a new criminal charge in less than 3 years. So it definitely does not accomplish, teaching them not to commit more crimes. It does just the opposite, I think.
Yeah, I think, people tend to share information, and, people learn how to behave. In prison, in many ways, it can be a preservation method, to learn to adapt, to be
Trying to survive.
Survival mechanism. But at the end of the day, when you get out, you learn these tricks and these tools and these skills, if you will, and people unfortunately take advantage of them, and like you say, end up back in the place that they were that was supposed to fix their problem to begin with.
Yes. I think we work to do, but hopefully the Jeffrey Epstein thing, actually gets a bit of a look from the Congress and maybe even from the Department of Justice into what's really happening within our Bureau of Prisons.
Well, we got your first beep already, and I'm glad to hear from you today. I was concerned that I might not, because I hadn't heard from you on the email. So I now have a course of action. I'm going to talk to Becca first thing in the morning and get cracking on that press release. There's your second beep. I'm going to let you finish it up.
Okay, well, thank you. Hopefully, I'd really like some help from the listeners trying to recover those legal papers that, at least gives me a chance to get out of prison. I'll close with a little piece of good news. The Daily Caller, the top article in there right now is an article that I wrote. So
all right.
Everybody gets that issue,
The Daily Caller. Somebody look that up and post it. That's, anytime Craig has something positive to say amidst getting beat up by a guard, damn, really? And meanwhile, on the other side of that, we got people that are free, whining and bitching and belly aching and causing problems. I don't know. There's something ain't right. Well, that's the first half of the show and a little bit more. We got a bunch of people on the line to talk. We got Jeff Eichen from Washington. We got Pete Yapel. We got Terry Catron-Lowe. and Dana Bland. And probably before the show's over, we'll probably have Tom Corby and maybe a few others. I certainly welcome anybody. I think last week we had Forrest had called in and dropped off, and I think there was one other caller that had came in and dropped off. Look, I give everybody a voice. I want everybody to have an opportunity to speak your mind. If you disagree with me, especially, hey, this is not the Attaboy Club. I'm not here to, have you tell me how much you agree with me. If you agree with me, great. Let's do something about it. That's what I care about. Let's do something about it. We're this much closer to our walk across America, and I know Pete's going to be talking about that. But we've got our name. We're about to put together a press release, and we're about to launch this thing for reals. So we've got a good team, and this is a pre-call. We're going to be reaching out through the press release, but I'm looking for people. I'm looking for leaders. I'm looking for people that have experience working with groups of people, working with peaceful protests, working with rallies, marches, human chain type events where we've organized and coordinated a major event like this. And if you've got experience and you want to be part of something that's going to be a game changer, it's going to be something that will be noted in the history of civil rights as we get this thing going, building, and marching. We're going to accomplish everything we set out to. And I'm looking for a few good folks that know how to work with people, how to cast their egos to a minimum. Take your ego and use it to pull the cart and shut the fuck up while you're doing it. We have a lot of work to do. We're going to be working with a lot of people, some that like us, some that don't, some that know us, some that don't. And that's the hard part. The easy part is it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be an adventure. It's going to be a game changer. It's going to be an opportunity to meet people all across the world. It's going to be an opportunity to meet elected officials. It's going to be an opportunity to march and chant and protest and do something meaningful with your time and with your thoughts and with your energy. And we want you to be part of it. We want people that are willing to get in and help and put some hard work in to be part of it as well. So stay tuned. Get a hold of me. Let's get marching. All right, let's start off. We're just going to start from the top. I think Jeff Eichen was on the line first. Then we got Pete Yapel. Dana was on, then he dropped off. Then Terry got on. So I think we'll do Terry, then Dana, and we'll see where we go. All right, Jeff Eichen from Washington. Welcome to the show.
Hi, kids.
Hooray, hooray.
Hooray. How you doing today?
Tomorrow's the day that we get word from the judge if Michael Thompson's coming home or not. And tonight at 8 o'clock on my Facebook, I'm going to be there live with that's Pacific time. I'll be there live. I'm at my mechanic sitting out in the woods here. I live in a small town in Washington State, and I'm in a lounge right now because I didn't want to get in my car. But tonight I'm going to be playing yesterday while I was on the air, I was just doing a Facebook rant, and just giving the updates and telling everybody that we're going to get Michael Thompson home after 25 years in prison. He called in while I was talking to everybody, and we played it live. So I recorded it. So tonight, if you all want to hear Michael Thompson talk from prison and give us his heart about coming home, I'm going to play that again tonight. And that's where we live. We want to light a candle, everybody, tonight for Michael Thompson and every other prisoner. And this is a good moment to prop you up, mister, and to say good job. We're doing our work as best we can, and there's not enough of us. We don't have the big boys, totally on line yet. But once the walk starts coming, once we get on national TV, it's over. We're going to end prohibition.
Oh, you bet. And that's why I'm so excited about this walk. And, it'll be great to have Michael being part of it. so many. Hopefully we'll have a lot of the guys that have been locked up. I just got word that we're going to be reaching out to Paul Free, who recently got out, and he's going to be invited to come on the show. And all of these guys, Aaron Sandusky is going to be getting out shortly, certainly before the walk gets started, and so many others that I know that I've known since they were locked up. They're going to have a chance to march with us. Hopefully they'll take the opportunity and help make their time that they spent, carry some additional value.
Well, I got to meet Eddie Lapp at HempFest, and we were there, Kristen Floor and Amy Kova, and all the beautiful people there. Stephanie Landa was there, and we just had a blast in our little area. And every year HempFest donates our booth space, and we're there propping it up and getting people to be aware. We raised $1,000 one day just dunking people, and we dunked Eddie, we dunked me, and then we had the dunk tank, and it was a blast. And now we want to dunk Michael Thompson. We want to dunk everybody that's been in for 25 freaking years, so they can come home and grab a pizza whenever they want.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about. We have a prison system that's broken. We have people that have committed nonviolent offenses that are locked up in some cases sentenced to life, which is ultimately death. And it's not right, and it needs to be changed. Michael, I've worked with Michael for almost 6 years now, and he's a good guy. And the thing that he did, even if he was as guilty as could have been for everything they accused him of selling some pot. What the hell? It doesn't make sense. And that's what we're here to fix and change and correct. And it boils down to, again, our basic rights, our freedom to choose, our freedom to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. And I just can't see any reason why I can't see anybody that could be opposed to this. I can't see why they would. And so I say we should all be standing together. And Jeff, I'm looking forward to marching with you and all the other dyed in the wool freedom fighters out there.
Well, I'm planning my next movie. I just got a hit the other day when my juicer was brought back to me. I have a really expensive grinder juicer that makes the best juice for people with ailments. And I got a buddy who's got cancer right now. His wife returned the juicer unused.
Oh no!
Put any leaves through it. They didn't do it. So I invented my next movie, everybody, and I'm going to do short movies that you can show to people that refuse cannabis and cannabinoids in their system. And the next movie is going to be all about just do it, just juice it, it's easy. And I'm going to get testimonials from Dr. Machulam in Israel. I'm going to freaking get everybody to just make it really simple and really joyous, to be able to have a little video that you can put on YouTube, and you can walk it into your dad, you can walk it into your mom and say, don't worry about RSO. If you still take it at night, you probably go to sleep and then wake up and you may have a chance to stand the planet.
Well, I couldn't agree more. And Jeff, it's a good thing you're doing. You're getting the word out. You're educating people. Your excitement is contagious, and your work with Michael is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm just, this stuff needs to be contagious. We need to get more and more people that understand the problem, that are willing to be part of the solution, to make a difference, to step up and put an effort in. So, Jeff, if somebody wants to get a hold of you and wants to help out or needs your help, how does somebody get a hold of you?
So if you want to throw me some dough to travel and to get into more prisons and be part of the solution, or just say hi, my Facebook is Jeff Eichen, EICHEN, and there's a couple of us on there, but I'm the one with my current
profile photo is a head exploding. And so you can see my head exploding, Jeff Eichen, on Facebook. You can also find me at lifersthemovie.com. And we just went on YouTube. My movie has never been on YouTube, but it's on YouTube now. And so for the next several months, you can go on and watch it for free. And that's it. lifersthemovie.com, everybody. Come visit us. There's PayPal buttons on there to help me keep going. I've never really done a campaign or asked anybody, but it's time that I step in and I ask, I'm also very close to releasing our album, which is going to come out in December, and maybe we'll get a couple of people on one of your stops from our album to join us in the play on the stage at one of our stops on the walk.
I couldn't see how that wouldn't happen. I have all confidence that this is going to be everything we can dream of and then some.
Well, I'm proud of you all, and I'm proud of our prisoners especially. And take it from me, everybody. We can hear Craig Cecil, but we can't see him. But when I went in to Michigan 3 weeks ago and saw Michael Thompson in there, after 20 years he didn't have anybody visiting. That was his choice, but the bottom line was that he's a sweetheart, and he doesn't have freedom, and he can't do this, and he can't do that. And Jeff Lazansky wrote me a letter, or gave me one of his famous letters, and it said he chilled his sodas in his toilet in between beers. So that's his refrigerator. So just remember, everybody, when I left, I was going home, and I was leaving Michael Thompson there. That's when my heart cracked open, and I'm even more on power right now because I knew I was going to lose him in jail.
Well, never more touching words were said, and
There's nothing to say.
yeah, no, you're doing the good work, Jeff, and I appreciate everything you're doing. And again, we're going to continue marching on. So I look forward to talking to you very soon, and we'll just keep on going. I can't wait to hear the good news tomorrow. So hopefully we'll talk tomorrow.
Everybody light a candle tonight for Michael. Keep it going. And then close your eyes and throw the cosmic flower of life, Merkaba, through your third eye, everybody. And I'm going to make that meditation at 8 o'clock on Facebook and throw it and wrap it around the judge. Everybody throw a Merkaba around the judge, so the judge will be sacred geometry. And I know it works, and I've done it before. It's a little bit of magic. It ain't voodoo. It's doo-doo. It's because we want to do, and we want to bring everybody home. So just do it, everybody. Love you. Light a candle for Michael and for everybody else.
All right. Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you so much, Jeff, and we'll talk very soon. Jeff Eichen from Washington, folks, and what a warrior he is. All right, we got George Martorano. He bumped in, and generally he's only got a few minutes to be here, and he flickers in and out. So I want to catch him while he's here. And if you all know George, he's a warrior. He's served over 32 years in federal prison for pot. He's out there now making a difference, educating people. He's all over the place with his message of hope and change and not the Obama kind, the real kind. George has been working with people long before I knew him, helping people out and lifting them up, educating them. Now he's working in the hemp world, and he's got his cafe out there, and he's making a go of it for himself. But meanwhile, the whole time he's helping people, healing people, and that's what this is all about. George, always a pleasure. Welcome to the show today.
Hey, Joe, how are you doing? I want to say hello to your wife, who I said deeply about, and Deeply Kerwood out there, and all my friends out there, Kathy Z, everybody. Today, incidentally today, I was in New York City. I found me in the sidewalk. I had a meeting with the producer, and I had a meeting with that CEO from a major organization with a very powerful woman in marketing. I'm not going to say her last name, but her first name is Martha. And it looks good that we're going to be joining in my CBD Smart Shot project. So the message is today for, prisoners, cannabis prisoners that thrown away like I was thrown away for 32 plus years. Now here I am, an older man, but walking the streets. My kids are squeaking from the rain, walking the streets and walking in the big offices, walking on. So thing is, when you come home, besides you come home, there is life after prison, but you have to present something. You have to present something, and once you present something positive, there is receptiveness. People want to talk to you, so don't feel like if you didn't get home yet, but once you did get home, but when you come home, you're still at any point you believe you're still sober. Here's me walking through Manhattan, and I'm wet, and I'm walking to meetings with walking on. So, we want to continue. It's not about me. It's about all of us. So we just want to share that with them. You're someone, he or she is someone when you come home. Just create some kind of idea. And you don't have to get into the retail or commercial industry. You can just have a life. In that life, you can help others, share others. I can't wait to do my mugshot project so I can get approval from the Bureau of Prisons to be speaking. I want to go to several Florida prisons I can and speak. So, when you come home, don't come home angry. Don't come home with a chip on your shoulder. So what I did, basically, Joe knows more than anybody. Human Solution knows anybody. You take a negative into the positive. So if we all do that, a collective force, then we can make a positive change. 50 years, 100 years, when they read about us as cannabis prisoners came home, or something, or more than something. So.
Absolutely, and you exemplify that, George. You've always had that right attitude to turn that negative into a positive, and that's what I was talking about earlier in the show. Is there's a kind of person like that, and that's the kind of person I try to be and encourage other people to be. We can all be a part of the solution wherever we go, whatever we come upon. We can be a part of that solution. So, always a pleasure to hear from you.
People like the Human Solution, they believe in me from the cell, and I haven't let anyone down.
It's so true. So true. Well, George, when are you coming out west?
All right. As soon as I can, brother. When I'm out there, I'm really free. Over here, I'm pounding the sidewalks like a tennis. My shoes are still squeaking wet.
Well,
I'm out here trying to do the best I can. All of us.
When you come out here next, we'll sneak you away up to the mountains. We'll go horseback riding. I found a place up in this.
I'll see you real soon. Probably in the latter part of September, October. I'll see you real soon. I promise.
All right, that sounds great. All right, George.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. George Martorano, folks. All right. And, for those of you who don't know George, sometimes he's kind of hard to hear because he's on the streets of New York. Well, it's 6 o'clock here. It's 9 o'clock over there, and he's still out there working away doing this. I've never seen a guy with so much energy, with so much enthusiasm, with so much optimism. So many people I know that are free, that have never been locked up, that have never had any real problems. Are always whining and bitching and moaning. And George is a guy who just lost his mom. He's got a daughter who's been sick. He just got out of prison after 32 years. And I've never seen him other than being positive. Same thing with Craig. A guy serving life in prison, and I've never seen him complain about anything other than, hey man, this shit's happening. Can you help me? But never a whiny guy, never the Facebook scene, never a drama guy, always about focus and positivity and being a solution and inspiration, lifting people up. I don't know, something to think about, folks. All right, here we go. We're 4 minutes away from the official showtime to be over, but guess what? We probably got another hour worth of callers. So we got a bunch of new callers that just popped on. Zach Salazar from Missouri is here. Bobby and Colleen. Tom Corby made it. And we got Pete, Dana, and Terry Catrone Lowe. And so let's see. We're going to go to Pete next, then Terry, then Dana, then Zach, then Bobby and Colleen, and then Tom. That's the order as it stands right now. Pete Yapel, Solidarity Over Separation, soon to be the traveling chapter. Warrior doesn't come without his better half. The stable one, Helen, love you both. Welcome to the show.
Hey, I still need training wheels, man.
It's all good. That's okay. They don't let me out in the sunlight most of the time.
And but listen, that's what makes these things work is like, and what's making this work is we really truly have a lot of great couples together that just keep each other in check and keep each other going.
We have a divine group, I believe, of people that are funding each other. And
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to make this work.
And that's what we kind of like were saying the whole time we were just listening to George. And hey, listen, I'll hold the door for George Monterano any day. And anybody that doesn't really, just in my opinion, doesn't have respect, because the man, again, 30-some years in prison, and like you said, he's every single day out there, doing for other people. And it's just the same thing with the rest of this group. And it is divine behavior. Hey, listen, I want to share a little bit of good news.
I love good news.
I shared with Becca earlier today. The Walk for Change got its first donation today.
Nice.
True donation. $250 donation for a radio spot that we did, that 20 for 20 activists. The gentleman that put on the thing awarded all of us activists $500 to do what we want, and as a group we decided to give the money to a good cause, and we split it between ours and then something that Stacey Peace has going on for Christmas and kids in Washington. So we received $250 of it for the walk, and they received $250 of it for theirs.
Wow. That's fantastic.
It's starting to happen,
Love it. Good job.
But we've been doing a lot of stuff actually too. We have our first media group meeting, our committee meeting on Thursday, tomorrow, and also our board meeting obviously is tomorrow too. But we have our first media meeting tomorrow. I got to give it up to Richard Rosadillo. He's getting ready to go to an event now. He just printed out 100 flyers. And I'll make up a quick flyer, just to mention the walk with all the pertinent information we needed on it. And he's just going to start handing them out at the conferences when he's there covering media.
Nice.
So we're going to try to get this in everybody's hands we possibly can. We've got a lot of events set up. As you said, we're getting ready to go on the road. We're filling the calendar, and we'll fill it as we make plans. But guys, look out for us out there. If you here's where your social media Facebook group can actually do something. If you run a group and you're a larger group and you're a group within a state and you know we're near you, or you see our route as we travel, because we're going to post it as we go up, so everybody will know where we're headed and which direction we're headed. You should rally your people. Let's get your actual group to do something. Let's rally and support for the free walk so that everybody can build this excitement. And that's the part of us going out, not only to collect money and raise funds, not only to collect memberships, but to keep this alive and keep this pertinent and keep people waiting and waiting and waiting. And when June comes, guys, let's just tackle this with all the excitement that's needed, because we have to face it. It's now. We have to do this now. We've been so long without our freedoms. We've got too many people in jail, 40,000 people in jail for this plant, and just think of how many people are there for life without the possibility of parole. 1 minute at a time in jail for this plant's too long, so let's end this madness, man. I mean, we can only do it together, guys. Never going to work separately.
Couldn't agree more. Well, Pete, let me ask you this. If somebody wants to connect with you or help out, donate, be a part of this project, how do they get a hold of you?
phone with me at 845-522-3162 is my personal cell. Or they can reach out to us at www.AnnaWeTalk42small.com. All of the information is on there, as well as our Solidarity Over Separation in New York chapter of Human Solutions link. Just be involved, guys. We're coming around to you, and let's show everyone that we're just tired of this, that we all deserve the right to treat as we deserve, as we choose to, not as we're told we have to.
Couldn't agree more. This is all about free will, choice, liberty, and justice for all. God dang it. That's what it's all about. All right. Well, Helen, let's give a holler for the female side of this team.
Why, thank you. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, go ahead.
I can't wait to get on the road. I can't wait to start making these changes, and as we go along and as we fundraise and membership drive, we're going to stop and see prisoners and do our campaigning and teaching, and the same thing with patients that are looking to treat, that are running into brick walls, like what happened to Tanya. This is what we're going to be doing. It's the whole purpose. So again, everybody that's listening, please take note of what I just said and what we'll be doing, and know that this is all. This is what we do on a dime of the human solution and a dime of us each individually. So we need help. We need support, and so please support us by going to www.THSINTL.org and become a member. Donate once, donate every month.
If you're donating for the walk, specify it.
Yes.
For the walk. That's going to ask us to do that. That way we can keep on counting.
Correct.
Fantastic. All right, you guys. Well, it is absolutely a pleasure and an honor to be working with y'all. And I can't wait to see you again. And we're killing it. It's happening. This thing is coming to life, and it's getting bigger before it's even started. So I'm excited. And damn, Skippy's right.
I think it is, man. We shot the monster. Now let's go put this thing to rest. That's what I say.
Exactly. All right, Pete and Helen Yapel, Solidarity Over Separation, New York for now. Soon to be heading to an event, a rally near you. All right, up next, we got Terry Catrone Lowe. Terry came on last week. She's been an active member of the Human Baron for a while now. I've had the pleasure to do court support with them for many, many years, and they're marching along with us. They're part of the team. They're part of a bunch of teams I'm involved in. And Terry called in last week to talk about some of the hazards of some bad players and some technology, the vape thing that's going on right now. And it's important when we're trying to make a difference in the world. It's important that we focus on truths, and that's why the dramas are such a detraction. They're things that take away from us working on our truths. And these fundamental truths that we talk about are the life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, freedom of choice, and all of these things that we talk about. What somebody did to another person one day, last week, last month, last year, that has nothing to do with any of these things. All of the dramas that come up are not only detractions, but they're harmful, they're toxic, they're contagious. And I think that it's up to us to focus on the truths, on the important things, on the message. The reason that we're here, focusing on that, I think, is what makes us the solution. Let's hear what Terry's got to say today. Welcome to the show, my friend.
How you doing, Joe?
I am above ground, breathing, and currently out of custody. It's a good day.
Totally. Okay, so I have been, I've had a little busy bit of a summer, and I wanted to, as you know, I wanted to talk about this for a while, and I want to do this, so that's why I'm going to talk about it. We had Prop 64 come to town, and I'm driving up north, and all of a sudden I see a sign on the side of the highway, and it's like Spark Dispensary adopted this highway, and I'm like, wait a minute, I want us to adopt a highway too. And I'm like, if you adopt a highway in the state of California, you get unlimited free advertisement. You get 2 miles of California highway. And I think that this is something we need to do. And I am going to spearhead this and take on this challenge and do it.
Go, Terry.
Well, I think it's a fantastic idea. I know that our team in Michigan many years ago did it, and they did it successfully. And somewhere in the archives of the lost photographs are pictures of our team in Michigan picking up trash with the Human Solution banner and with the signs along the highway and doing a good thing, getting together, getting outside, fellowshipping, picking up some trash. Hell, I've organized trash cleanups since I was a kid, and it's a good thing. You get, if you're a hiker, a camper, the rule is always leave it better than you found it. I think that's our message to citizens of this planet. Leave it better than we found it. And connecting to a project like that, there's not a lot of government projects I'm a big fan of. Adopt a Highway is a good one. There's no downside to it. It's only an upside. And hell, walking a couple of miles with some friends, not a big deal. Leave the place cleaner than you found it. Have some good conversation. Catch some good pictures and some videos along the way. Who knows? Maybe gather some new members as we're doing it. I dig it.
That's what I was thinking. I see it as a networking, another modality to network. And, I was a Girl Scout. I worked for the Surfrider Foundation. I do beach cleanups on a regular. It's just another, just adding another thing onto that. So I think it's...
well, who knows? Maybe this will become contagious. Maybe some of the other chapters will start doing something like that in their own neighborhood. And when you take an action,
actually, I wanted to offer a challenge.
I like it.
Yeah, Terry.
I like it.
So I was thinking, I'm gonna get this rolling, and I'd like to, I drive down the freeway or wherever, and I see these corporate America dispensaries and E's and all these people, and I'm like, no, we need it, and I think we need one in every state. So let's get on that, everyone, and let's try and do that. If you're down with it, look into your state and see what it takes to do it. And like I said, it's free exposure for us, and we're out there, as Joe said, fellowshipping, networking, maybe taking some pictures, posting them on Instagram, and I think it's like the old jury nullification days, getting out and bringing it to the people type thing. And where's a better place in California? People sit on the freeway for a couple hours to go from here to there,
I couldn't agree more. I think it's great, and I can't help but think that if we're out there doing what we do, we'll gather some people, we'll gather some support, and we'll probably pick up a few new members along the way.
I'm thinking. So that's what I'm saying, and I just wanted to share that with you guys, and thank everybody. And I see this march is coming together nicely. I can't wait to be part of it.
Yep. Well, it's gonna become real easy real soon how to be a part of it. So we're just getting ready to do our initial unveiling, our initial press release, and then it's gonna get real easy to participate. So I'm looking forward to reeling y'all in one at a time. Loving it.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to sharing it and getting more people into.
Exactly. It's going to be huge. Awesome, Terry. Well, it's a privilege and a pleasure to be yapping with you here on the air with everybody getting to hear and be part of it. And we're going to keep on marching.
Right on, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care. You betcha. All right. Now we got Dana Bland. Now Dana is, man, he's a man on fire. He is went from reaching out to us for help with his case with him and his wife to us engaging him in his case to him being victorious in his case to launching a charter of the Human Solution International in Missouri to organizing and participating in a court support. I believe it was just yesterday, and it's exciting. Dana and Suzanne are just walking the walk, talking the talk, working the work. We love it. Dana, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Oh, we're getting along. Yeah, we left Kansas yesterday. It was 4 hours. Well, I went to Kansas. It was a 4-hour trip there and a 4-hour trip back, and it was worth the trip. And it ended up. She has a new lawyer now, a good lawyer.
Good.
Got rid of the one that wasn't doing nothing.
Okay.
And also, we don't. Go ahead.
No, I said okay. I heard she changed attorneys, but I didn't know. I don't know any of the details.
Yeah, we got to talk to him afterwards, and yeah, he's going to be a really good one. If it comes down to where he needs us, our help, he's going to be asking for it. Right now, he's like my lawyer was. He don't want the publicity and the interference because he wants to take and win this case on his own.
Well,
he said if it gets to the time where they're acting like bad towards her like that, then he's going to be asking.
Right. Well, and we're going to be prepared. You got to meet some of our team from Kansas, and Sarah and Mike say hi from the other side over on YouTube. And they're grateful that you guys came out. You and Dolores came out, and it's really great to see the Midwest section of the organization getting together. And even though it was a continuance, it was a short hearing, the fact that everybody came together, it makes a difference. It makes a difference in that courtroom. And from what I understand, Jennifer was having issues with her parents, and just seeing the community support helped to heal that. And I know, as somebody who has been a defendant so many times, and I know that when you go to court and there's people standing with you, I know how it raises your spirit. There's something so powerful about it. And that's why we do it. People don't get it unless you've been there, unless you've seen it from one side or the other. It's a powerful, powerful thing to be there for another person. And I'm so grateful that you guys came and drove so far. I've driven that far and even farther. I've flown across the country for people before. And it doesn't really matter, if the need is there, we show up, we do what it takes. And you guys have got that spirit, and it's really, it's powerful. And I'm just really, really pleased and proud and grateful that you guys are stepping up, and we're getting a strong team out there in the Midwest. It's really, really making my heart lifted.
Yeah, there was some good people down there from Human Solutions, and we made an impact because, for one, they had like 4 or 5 police officers in their bulletproof vests and everything else that we wanted to walk through. Then we got in it. It wasn't that big a courtroom. This town is falling down.
Yeah.
And in fact, because it took them 45 minutes before they even got started, because they had everybody just kept filing back to the back into the judge's chambers, back and forth. And I know I know from experience they were talking because they didn't expect to have that. That we would be there. We kind of built the courtroom,
right?
And
it changes things.
It was a very good result. And me and Dolores got to talk to her parents, and
good.
Learned a lot from us.
Good.
A lot about cannabis and CBD and everything. else.
Nice.
And they're all interested in that now.
Good. We love Dolores. She's wonderful people. And, we've been working with her for a couple of years now. And it's so exciting to watch this team grow and work together. You don't know, Dina, I've been working for 10 years trying to bring people together and to watch it finally happen in a peaceful, drama-free, engaged, passionate way, the way it is right now. It's what I always dreamed of. So I'm just so pleased to watch this happen.
We got to talk to her new lawyer for about an hour after it was over with.
Okay.
And the next case for them to be there is going to be on the 27th of September at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And we're all planning on being back to the event. So,
Good.
And then Zach has a case coming up on the 3rd at 9 a.m. I'm going to try to make it there.
Okay.
We can get an appointment changed on my test.
Yeah, Zach's on the line too. He's going to be up after you. So he's waiting online to tell us what's going on.
Yeah. It was a very good trip. I'm glad I went. And for anybody out there who wants to know, it's definitely worth going out and supporting other people that are having the same kind of issues that you went through, or just to try to help somebody, because this whole injustice has to end. I mean, these people out there are really backwards. I mean, it's dead set against anything to do with cannabis, and it's mostly because they just don't know.
Right. Yeah, that's ignorance is the core of all of this. Ignorance and greed, and the greed is behind the motivation of prohibition, but ignorance is what causes it to proliferate. And I think if we could just wake people up and teach them a little something about what we're really doing, about what this is really about, and take the fear away from them, I think that's the key to this. And when we show up at court and we're real people and we have real conversations, I heard, I read something that Dolores had written about her experience, and she gets it. She exemplified what this is all about, bringing humanity. Mary, our screener, she had a similar experience and when she was going through her court case, and just being human, showing up and talking to these people that are adversarial, but they're only adversarial because they don't know better. And you show up and you become human and you shine a little light and you put a little smile and you put that face of humanity out there. And it's kind of hard to be angry when somebody's being real. And that's what this is all about. It's about us being real, about us being good and kind and loving. And, we win every time we come through and do it every time.
Oh, yeah, we're going to win this case. I ain't got no doubt in my mind on this one. It's going to end up getting dropped. I mean, I have another site, my Christian site, which I've been teaching the Christian world about cannabis and CBD, and it's been a very, very, very good experience on that, because I've reached over 65,000 people, and I'm so far to this date, not one negative comment at all, just positive.
I love it.
And it's really good to be able to teach, because it all started in the Christian world to begin with back in like 1906. Here's when things really got started to start prohibition. And it started because the ignorance of the Christian community and people that just thought that, they were better than others. And now they're learning that, all this was not true, because it's just kind of going against what the Bible says to begin with.
Well, and as you get into truths, you really are not going to find a problem with a plant. It's a plant, for God's sake. Right. When was the last time a plant hurt anybody on purpose? It's and especially a plant that is a healing plant. If there was a problem, trust me, they would have brought it to us a long time ago if they would have had a truth that was negative. So we're gonna win this thing. It's a battle of hearts and minds. It's a battle of peaceful protest and and just being better. And that's what this is all about. And it also is a battle of will. It takes people strong enough to stand up. You know, when we get taken out, as so many people have experienced, it takes some strength, it takes some will. And that's part of what we're all about too, is raising up folks and giving them the strength to fight and not just roll over and take whatever they want to give you.
Yeah, I had a little tiny bit experience before I got arrested on this because I had a little fellowship and a place to teach in Cassville, Missouri, which is where we went to court at. And that town drugged me in against my First Amendment rights 4 different times at their court. And of course, they dropped the charges every single time because they didn't have a case.
Right.
Yeah, I look seriously on our amendment rights and being able to be Americans and not be under some kind of dictator type situation that we've been put under in this country with the law enforcement and the courts.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. All right, Dana. Well, if somebody wants to get involved in Missouri, as there seems to be so much action going on, how does somebody get a hold of you?
Our name is Hope for Change and the End of Prohibition, Human Solutions in Missouri chapter. And my number is 417-847-7974.
Fantastic. Once again, folks, Hope for Change and the End of Prohibition in Missouri, the Human Solution International, Dana and Suzanne, and they are just raised up and doing a great job. I'm so pleased and proud to have you all with us. All right. Well, until next time, please stay on the line. We're going to keep on rolling.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Let's see. Now we got Zach Salazar. Zach's been on the show a couple of times before. Got a case coming along. Zach, welcome to the show. How's it going today?
Good. How you guys doing? Been listening to the show. Been really fantastic show to listen to.
Yeah, we've had a good one today. I'm very pleased. A lot of good callers and good topics. So tell us what's going on with your case.
Well, I got court on the next Tuesday for a bond conditions hearing. They're going to try to make it to where I'm not doing UAs twice a week.
Oh, good.
I can start using my medicine again.
Good.
Which I'm looking real forward to. Really stressed out without it, and the diabetes and the PTSD doesn't really help having, so I'm looking forward to getting back on it.
That's fantastic. Well, we've got a calendar that's now fully functional and active, and hopefully you and Dana can get with Becca and get your court date up on the calendar, and hopefully we can get some folks out there to show up in support. And in some cases as they go along, hopefully your case will be over soon, but some of these cases last on for years, and so there's some events, some hearings, some days that we push real hard to get folks, and other ones we try to conserve people's resources. And mostly it's just getting people to know your case, and know where to go to help, and that's what this calendar, the show, and our chapters are all about.
Yep, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing. And like Dana said, I'm hoping he can make it to this one. That'd be really, really nice to have some support in the courtroom. Like I said, it's a really small town, so you're kind of dealing with small town politics here.
Well, and that's why a lot of times, the smaller the town, the fewer people it takes to make a difference. Sometimes just rolling in there with a couple of folks in a little town makes a difference because they're used to it just being them against you. And even when you got one guy with your back, it makes all the difference in the world. So that's really what this is all about, is having your back.
Yes, and tired of being persecuted over a plant. It is now legal, It's just, there's got to be a point where this should end for people, and they shouldn't have to spend time in jail or face high bonds or any type of ridicule that comes with it.
I think now is about that time. That's where I'm at.
Yep, and I 100% agree. I just can't wait, and I'm super excited about how everything's going, and just hearing that there's a lot of support going on out there. That's a great feeling.
It's growing every day, my friend. It's growing every day, and that's what's going on. That's what we're all about, raising it up, raising awareness, raising people's understanding and inspiration and all of that. And you know, you're standing up and fighting. That's the other part of it, is we need those that have been persecuted to raise up and stand up and fight so we can get behind you and push it forward.
Yeah, and that's outstanding and awesome to hear.
Awesome. Okay, Zach, well, why don't you give us one more time the date and the location of your court, and that way if anybody's listening and doesn't happen to catch the calendar, might be able to show up and help.
My court's on September 3rd in Montauk County. It's off of, I think it's 200 Main Street. It's off of 87 and 50, the big old courthouse building, at 9 a.m. My main court case is October 1st, and that's when actually the actual court date is for the case. This, like I said, the 3rd is the bond hearing, and this one is the 1st would be my actual court case. And I'm hoping that they dismiss it or something, because it's getting old, and I'm ready to put this behind me for something that I legally can consume and use now. So,
all right. Plus, it's the right thing to do. All right, Zach. Well, I appreciate you calling in, and please check in after next week. Next Wednesday, we're not going to have a show because I'm going to be up in the mountains of Canada, and I don't believe I'm going to have a signal where I'm going to be at. So we're going to be dark next week, but the following week, the week of September 9th, I think it'll be the 11th, will be the next show. So we're going to be down 1 week and then back up the following week. So, but please call in and share with us what happened. And meanwhile, just because I'm gone, the rest of the team carries on and nothing changes.
Okay. And I'll call back in and let you guys know. Like I said, I followed the show. So
Beautiful, beautiful.
I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Zach Salazar from Missouri, a defendant fighting his case and working with our Missouri chapter right now. All right, we got Bobby and Colleen and then Tom Corby, and it looks like I think that's all the callers for now. We'll see what happens. Last week we had a bunch of people calling in late. Bobby, Colleen, welcome to the show. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good, Joe. How are you guys?
Doing great, doing great. Getting ready to go traveling again.
Awesome. I had a court this morning. This is off the cannabis subject. They dropped my cannabis. I had a cannabis case for import-export cannabis for people that didn't know. And they dropped that charge because the police didn't show up. And then now they're pursuing a suicide charge against me in the state of Oregon. And the cops stole half of my mushrooms.
Of course they did.
I'm still trying to figure this out. Like, it's weird in my eyes, and I'm thinking about this in trial. Like, either body cam footage, who stole it?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened today?
You know, it's kind of weird. They charged me with possession of 60 grams of psilocybin with intent to deliver and also possession. And then, well, it was just 60 grams, they said, but I had 112.
Okay.
And that's what's really blowing my mind. So I want to expose these cops in court, basically, is what I'm going to do. Jackson County, Oregon, I've been watching them on YouTube. She pulled their body cam footage, and they planted methamphetamine in their car in Jackson County.
Yikes.
And it's highway robbery. They're stealing money. They're looking for big cash coming down the I-5. If they can't find it, then they, find a reason to put you in jail for something just to make the stop look legit.
Yikes. Well, if you're traveling
what's going on
in the northern part of the state on I-5, watch your backs, folks. Watch your backs.
Yes. I was going 63 and a 65 with my seatbelt on.
Luckily, he turned on his video camera as soon as he was pulled over and recorded the whole thing.
Yay!
Never used one cuss word and was very polite to the police, even after they were dragging him out of his own vehicle with no probable cause. And all this will come out in court.
Well,
I'll be asking for a fast and speedy. I got court again on the 30th. I got to contact the public defender's office on Friday, and I'm going to ask for a fast and speedy right off the bat.
Good.
I got all my evidence on my phone.
Good. That's great. Well, you know,
Yeah,
being prepared makes a difference.
Yeah, it definitely does. But it breaks my heart out there to hear all these people and all the what's going on in this world with the cannabis, because it's got me alive and it's keeping so many other people alive. And it's such a shame to keep something or arrest somebody for something that helps them.
Yeah, to withhold someone's medicine from them when they're sick and to go after them and persecute them, not only, physically taking away their medicine, but imprisonment in a cell no one should have to ever face.
And with no disrespect to our country, I've started calling it the Divided States of America.
Yeah, there should be no borders when it comes to a prescription of my cannabis, whether I'm in Texas, New Jersey, or California. It shouldn't matter where I am in my country. I should have my medicine with me.
Right.
You got that right.
That makes perfect sense. But common sense is not so common here where we live. But that's why we're here to change it, folks. We're here to change it. And you got to stand up. You got to fight when it's time. You got to stand up for those that are fighting. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary. This kid, they could have carried 30 years, they say. They're in charge, but I beg to differ. But we'll see.
Well, I generally, when we stand up to them, more often than not, they back away if we've got any substance to our side of the case. And most of the time we do. So unless they've got us dead to rights on something, which generally they don't when we're standing up to fight, usually we prevail. That's typically the way it works.
Both Bobby and I are eyewitnesses to watching court support work.
It works.
Court support works, everyone. It does. Watch people's cases get thrown out and dismissed.
Like yours, Joe.
Yeah.
And like yours, Bobby. It works.
Like my buddy was.
And Frank Canans, too. There's a bunch of people out there that I've personally eyewitnessed, and it's a wonderful thing to watch. It really is.
Yeah. I take my hat off to George Madrano. I as a prisoner myself, I'm still trying to deal with everyday life. I'm really out of prison. Okay, it's hard to deal with sometimes, and I think maybe a prisoner support group might be something in the future, maybe to consider.
Absolutely.
Behind the walls.
Well,
and witness things that you can't describe.
I definitely could get behind that. So we just need to put a box around it. Let's make it happen.
And Terry, definitely a great idea with the highway, adopt a highway. I love that. That's a great idea.
I think it's a fantastic idea.
The great Tom Corby. I
Yep.
love you guys. I cannot wait to hear the NorCal report.
All right, here we go. Coming up next, the NorCal report. Thank you, Bobby and Colleen. And here we go. The Lion of a Man, Tom Corby, with the NorCal report. Tom Corby, welcome to the show. A little early today, but that's the way the show rolls. Sometimes it's a little early, sometimes it's a little late.
Thank you, Bill, Lisa, Mary, Becca, all of us on the front line coming together to find the end solution. And how's the best way to do that? Taking the trial and winning courtrooms, that gets the big. It's nice to have Nick Moran back and help so much with Donna. Donna is improving. Thank you all. And Frank and Ann with me here today. Without Frank, he's a mission man. Frank and Ann. Love you, Tom. You, Frank.
Hey, Frank, how's it going?
Nick Moran. Doing good. Doing good. How about you?
Wonderful. Be glad when summer's passed its way through here. We've had a lot of 100-degree days.
Yeah, we just have a few of them ourselves.
Yep. Well, I'm looking forward to going up to Canada for a couple of days, catch some cool days, and maybe some nice fish.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. So, yeah, so Nick Moran's case is really unique. They all are. Frank Canan's, Joe's, mine, all of it are unique in their own way. Nick Moran was just working the garden. And when you with people like Nick Moran, you screw with the wrong people, and like Joe and all of us, we've done our homework, and we're not some young kids. They're going to push around. So one of the things we've learned that, like Eric Pierce, it seems like it's more about who's in the garden at the time that they come in, not the landlord so much. So Nick Moran was just watering the garden, helping out, and he was at the big time, like Joe and I and many of us. One of the reasons that Nick Moran won the biggest jury trial acquittals in Beef County is because why? And he would tell you right now, he didn't know anything about the Human Solution International, and he wish he would have, because his hired a first attorney, I call him Columbo, and for $17,500. Columbo actually had his name. I'm not going to throw it out there. He actually admitted it. He didn't know much about cannabis cases, but believe me, he didn't. Although he did a few good things, if you have to watch with his attorney to PD, is to follow behind him and make sure they file those motions. So important. All the 995 motions, especially this on probable cause, also like youth and trapping, there too, they go hand in hand. Also, with all your discovery, he did help him with that. Now he wishes, and I don't mind counting Joe Pauly, the only attorney that I really feel real comfortable about, and I'm sure Joe does too. Joe Tully has not been in hearings, trials with him. He does not lose. And Nick Moran finally, and his long news short, hired Tully for $20,000. Like a lot of us, it ended up costing us about $50,000. In the end, it's worth it in the end. So that was one of the most interesting trials I've ever been to with Tully. Oh my God. Set a huge precedence in Butte County. Like Frank Canan also, we do not make plea deals. We take them all, we throw everything at them. To be subpoenas, and also never forget the injunctions and lawsuits. Most of all these spot arrests, cannabis, not marijuana. There's no probable cause, there's entrapment. Another reason Frank Canan won his case, he had a PD, what was the same PD phrase? Yeah, and then Katie was trying to tell friends, you're dumb not to take this deal, right? Well, that night we called him on the phone. I'm going to give him credit for this. I actually talked to him. He knows who I am in the courtroom. He's one of the 5 PDs that work with the DA. We know that. I talked to him and told him, this man is coming from his heart. He's trying to tell you, please listen to him. Well, he did. So Frank got a call not too much time later that right, and what did the DA say? The DA does not think they have a case. All the charges drop. So on the way out, I thanked him on the way out.
So the best way we could end prohibition in is in these courtrooms. Court support, always support, of course. Now, we finally learned that we have to save our energy, money, and time for priorities like prevents and especially trial. We always promote local court support, 50-mile radius. Doesn't mean you can't come from afar. It just means that you can just get the local court support. Even if you have 1 or 2 or 3 people here that can advocate, helping with the case, like Joe Grumbine, that means so much to these defendants. So that's the bottom line. Stand your ground, take them to trial, and legalization again with this more laws and regulations that are doing small and pop growers. Sad to say. Okay, I want to thank you all today, and don't forget to breathe.
Well, thank you so much, Tom. So, as I was going to say, the next week we're not going to have a show, but I think it's next Thursday, up in Canada, I'm going to be doing a jury rights day. We're going to be doing a meet and greet up there, and one of the prisoners in Canada that we supported, last name is Tran. Our friendly Manitoba chapter supported them, and you know we're going to go up there, and we're going to do a jury rights day. We're going to talk to them. I'm going to meet this prisoner that we supported when he was locked up, during his case. And in Canada, where they passed yet another a legalization thing, it's a nightmare. There's people getting locked up. There's stores getting raided. Grows getting attacked. Every kind of problem that you could imagine associated with prohibition is happening to this day, maybe even worse because of legalization. It's not the end of the game. It's unfortunately mostly a Trojan horse. So we'll be up there in Winnipeg and teaching, inspiring, supporting. It's what we do. It's what we're here to do. We're here to encourage your right to choose whatever it is that you want to in your pursuit of life, happiness, as long as it's not hurting anybody else. A little liberty is good for the soul. It's good for all of us, and it's part of our spirit. I will see you in a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I look forward to hopefully finding out that Michael Thompson got out and maybe arranging a meet with him. Till then, we'll see y'all next week or in 2 weeks.
I am Willie Nelson, and the Willie Nelson Teapot Party and I endorse the human solution, supporting cannabis prisoners because no one should go to jail for a plant.